because I feel that there is a fine line between riding fast and riding rash. What's up YouTube? Yes, I have the Yamaha R3 2018 edition, and this is not going to be a first ride review. Instead, I've been using this motorcycle for a few days now. I got this on Thursday evening, and Friday used it in the city. Saturday I went for a ride, also a 600-kilometer ride, and today is a Sunday morning and I'm going to do a review on this motorcycle. So this video is mostly going to be things which is related mostly onto the city riding aspects. So let's get this thing started. If you're looking for a exclusive highway review, I've already done it. You could check that in the first comment. It is there. First of all, I need to say that I just fallen in love with this motorcycle within just 3 days of usage itself. I used it in city, I used it in highway. I totally love this kind of motorcycle because for my purpose, I commute daily for around 30 kilometers to and fro from my work, and I love to tour on weekends also. So this is something which is very ideal for those kind of a person. So let me just get into the technical details of this motorcycle. As such, not the spec. So yes, let's talk about the engine refinement first. This motor is just amazing, people. I mean, it's a twin cylinder 300cc motorcycle. The power band actually kicks in at 5k RPM. Yeah, there is so much refined, so you don't find any kind of vibrations coming from the engine side towards the rider seat or the handlebar or onto the foot pegs. And I mean, the rotor is actually rev happy. So as I told, the power band kicks in at 5k RPM and it goes way 12.5 RPM. That means it loves to be revved. I mean, on the top end it is like amazing. I was riding this motorcycle always on the third and the fourth gear in the city. So it's amazing from that point of view. And the power delivery is actually very much linear. It doesn't have anything scary, which is with the Duke 390 and the RC 390. Actually, I will tell that this motorcycle is so much ideal for the city riding condition. Because if you see the way which I said, okay, it's almost upright. My body is slightly more inclined towards the front, and as I told in my other video, this is an R3, an R bike from Yamaha, which is unlike any other R in the series. Because R15 is way sporty, and the R1 and the R6 is also similar. And this one, if I want you to explain the right way how I sit, it is just a little bit away from the upright riding posture like this. So hence you don't feel any kind of stress or pain coming onto your or to this portion of your hand or this portion. Basically these are the places where you get pain when you ride this motorcycle in city for a longer period of time. But definitely I need to say that this motorcycle is way more comfortable to ride in the city riding conditions. And you see this all this kind of traffic, and I'm riding a 300cc motor, which is like an easy job. I'll just stop here for some time and talk. For some reason there is a lot of traffic on Sunday also. So if you see, my foot is completely planted. You see there is a slight bend over there. That means being 169 centimeter high, this motorcycle is actually way too comfortable for me. And when I keep my legs like this, there's enough room for my knee also to keep. So that means tall riders also could enjoy this motorcycle like anything. Let's talk about an important point which is very essential for city riding condition, which is the suspension. As you can see, the suspension is like waving like anything. In other words, it is soaking up all the unevenness on the road well. So yes, I was talking about the comfort this motorcycle is giving. So you see this seat is way more comfortable than you see. Actually, I'm planning to have this kind of a form on my CBR 250R. But when it comes to the pillion seat, okay, it's way too small. The pillion won't find it so much comfortable. The reason is because, one thing, this is small, and another thing, you don't have a grab rail over here. You see this, no grab rail. So that's a downside. And I feel that when you are riding an R3, you need to ride it for yourself, not for the pillion. So you definitely want to ditch the pillion. And let's talk about the braking capacity of this motorcycle. So there were two drawbacks of this motorcycle when it launched way back. early in India, which are the tires and the brake systems. Now it comes with an ABS, and stock tire comes with Mercedes, so that means they have rectified it. But let's see how much they have went and rectified it. I'll say that even with the ABS setup, that feel of the brake is not so good. This is not just my feel, actually. I just kept feeling it and I kept it in my mind. Even the owner of this motorcycle is saying that the front brake is a little bit spongy. From this kind of a motorcycle, you expect a greater bite from the front brake especially. Actually, I remember once I used the front brake alone on a Bentley 302R and I just flicked it. I was here, I just came and cluck. Oh my god, I cannot imagine. So the braking system of 302R, especially in the front, was way much better when I'm comparing it now. So in that sense, in the segment, this is not the best brake you could see. And upon that rear, it's kind of an okay. I don't use that much in the city. I try to rely on the front brakes itself. Now when it comes to the tires, this is actually marvelous tires that you could buy for the R3. Actually, you won't get anything better than this in India right now. My take is, it is good. But if you are a corner junkie kind of a person, I have an observation for you guys. Basically, when it comes to the R series, the R15 also has a much more committed way of sitting and holding the motorcycle like you hold your girlfriend, and you have the weight distribution coming onto your front. Actually, when you see the R15, it is more heavy-headed machine. Not the heavy-headed, the weight is more concentrated here. But what I felt is, on this motorcycle, the weight is much more balanced and it is somewhere over here. The center of gravity is somewhere over here. So because of that reason, you won't be able to enjoy the corners as much as you can on when you compare it to other 300cc motorcycle. This is good. This could be a track tool also, but cornering wise, it didn't reach my expectation. I'm not saying it is bad, but it didn't reach my expectation, that's all. But this is a city ride review and you shouldn't bother about it, that's what I'll say, because in a city, whatever the kind of corners you get, you will be able to enjoy those corners very well, especially in a city like Bangalore. And the heaviness of the bike, I'll tell you something guys, I don't find any problem in controlling this motorcycle. I mean, you could even become a pro squid on this motorcycle. That means you have power and it is much agile. It can go through like this. Absolutely brilliant motorcycle to filter through. Okay, I have one observation also here. So yesterday I was touring and many squids on many motorcycles actually came and invited me for street races when I was touring actually. So generally what I do is either I stop my motorcycle and wait, or I'll try to accelerate and go through. So generally what it happens is like these kind of squids actually come and catch up with you guys and then started driving and requesting you for a street race. Yeah, it generally happens like that. I don't have any problem. I don't have any hatred towards those people, but I have hate towards those attitudes. So don't think like that I'm hating the people who rides like that, because I feel that there is a fine line between riding fast and riding rash. You could ride fast, no problem, but keep in mind there is a fine line between riding fast and riding rash. So I was talking about squids. So yeah, I confronted many squids, which is actually a bigger problem in India now, and most of them were on a 200cc motorcycle. I'm not naming the motorcycle, but they were on a 200cc motorcycle, most of them. And what I could see is that I was just able to pick up from a speed even at 80 or 100 km per hour and reach the 140 in no time on highways. And I said a bye to them. I mean, so that's kind of a power delivery it has. It doesn't freak you with that thing, but it gives you right amount of enjoyment. It's so beautiful to ride in the city as well. Now let's talk about the gearbox and the clutch for some time. So the clutch feel, actually if you see, it is not onto the softer side but not onto the harder side also. It's something intermediate where you could use it in the city. Your hands don't get pain and all. And the gearbox, it is absolutely brilliant. Shifts are amazing even in the touring or while using in the city. No false neutrals, no wrong shifts. It is butter smooth. Even you could use a chappal and ride this motorcycle, but beware, do not do that. Now let's see one of the most practical things that you see that you use in the city riding condition, which is the usage of mirrors. Actually, I like the way it looks, but for me I felt that it is not that much functional. The reason is because I have a bit of my shoulder coming over here, and this is the most usable portion of this mirror. And in city riding condition, if you're from this angle, you could see whatever is just there in those areas, but whatever which is directly behind you is not visible in this mirror. So I just have a slight bit of irritation while using these mirrors, but it's fine. And let's talk about the build quality. So it's actually looking good. I don't say it's way good like the Ninja or the Bentley, but the build quality is absolutely awesome. Whatever they have made, they have tightened it properly, no rattling vibrations and all. Let's look at the instrument cluster for a moment. So this actually comes with a lot of information. It's the first auto, you get 1 trip meter, the second trip meter, kilometer per liter, mileage, again average mileage, 1 more trip meter. Yeah, that's it. I never reviewed the looks of any motorcycle until now, but I need to tell that I love this looks, man. Seriously. I mean, aesthetics are something which I always keep it to the viewer's eyes. I don't want to give biased and all, but I need to say that in my eyes, this is the perfect beauty. Yesterday I was touring and I was stopping everywhere and taking pictures. You could see that in my Instagram. I mean, it looks so good, man. I know one thing, I don't know whether I'll buy an R3 in the future, but whenever I'm buying a motorcycle, it will be in black color. So I have a slight feeling that this clip-on's handlebar is slightly short, probably since I'm too much comfortable with the way which I sit on other motorcycle. I had a slight feel that, you see, I find this to be slightly short for some reason. I don't know, this is just my observation. This shouldn't stop you in buying this motorcycle at all. And what else to talk about now? Yes, the most important point, the exhaust. Man, it sounds bloody nice. I mean, at 5k RPM it is as elegant as MS Dhoni. Beyond that, it is as aggressive as Virat Kohli. Well, it sounds so good. It gives you a feel that you are riding a bigger motorcycle, but definitely not in par with the Bentley series, the 300i or the 302R, because I feel that Bentley has a set of engineers who work on the exhaust node itself. They are concentrating more on that. But Yamaha, you have done a good job. It sounds bloody hell. I certainly feel that you put an Acropovic or any other exhaust, it will sound even more better. Let's conclude on a few things here. So if you're gonna use this motorcycle for city use, absolutely wonderful motorcycle. Don't even think about it. If you're gonna compare this motorcycle with any of the single cylinder like a Duke 350 or an Apache Hara 310, I'll say no, don't do that. Don't do that. You are hurting the feelings of a motorcycle enthusiast. This is not at all comparable. In other words, those motorcycles are nowhere in reach with this kind of a motorcycle, man. On the highway usage also, I have different video done which covers all the highway aspects which I used to keep when I go for tours. So you could watch that video if you are that kind of a person. And if you're a track guy, I will say that to you one thing, because if you see, the foot peg is here, which is right below your balls, not even below your butt. So if you're a track guy, you need to modify this motorcycle. So you need to definitely have a better front brake system, a much more tighter front shocks, and you need to have a rear set foot peg. Probably you need to have a bigger sprocket also. The reason why I say sprocket, because the initial bite, the lower RPM is not that much catchy. It is almost like any other motorcycle. After that only it kicks in. Actually, it has a good top end, but the low end is okay. I don't say bad, it's okay. In Indian conditions, I'll say it's okay. So it's a choice for you whether to stick to this motorcycle and ride it in the city on the highway. If you're someone who is looking forward for the track, then I'll say you could go for the RC390 better. Otherwise, yes, this is a beauty. And finally, the question whether it is a value for money machine. I will say that you are considering a twin cylinder machine, please, this is the king of it. I'm not just boasting this motorcycle. I've kept the Bentley 302R for some time. I rode a Ninja 300 back, but the feel this motorcycle gives is way beyond anything. Maybe the Bentley gives you the feel because of the exhaust note, but ride feel. And last thing I need to talk, which is the mileage about this motorcycle. Yesterday I did a mileage test. You could go and see the mileage test video in my channel. Roughly I was getting somewhere above 25 kmpl, which is a good thing, but in the city what you get is somewhere in 18 to 25 km per liter. And if you are someone who is so much scared about the motorcycles mileage part, I'll say this is not something you could rely on from a mileage perspective. I'll say you'll get thoroughly disappointed, but your heart will always say that go with engine. You try to sanely ride this motorcycle, I mean your heart doesn't leave you like that. It always asks you to rip off. That's the kind of feel this motorcycle gives. And let's talk about the service cost and all. So service cost is roughly around 2 to 3k and once in 5,000 kilometers, which is decent enough when you compare it to other motorcycles in the segment. This will be a bit cheaper than Benelli series as well as the Kawasaki. I'm not sure if any Kawasaki owners are seeing this. Please comment down below. And what else, man? I think I've talked everything about, so I'll just make a move now. And I hope this video helped you. If it helped you, please show some love in the form of likes and comments. And as always, do let me know in the comments if you have any kind of doubts. So see you in my next video. Goodbye.